Tamara. First off tonight, the American Civil Liberties Union hosting a community vigil for justice and due process, calling out ICE arrests and detentions happening without legal safeguards. So let's go live to that event right now.
And play different roles for our immigrant communities who are being targeted.
All right, taking a live look at that scene right now. You can see speeches still ongoing. Looks like they maybe have just wrapped up here right as we head past 5. We will have much more on this coming up in just a few moments with our Shakina Davis. But let's check in with meteorologist Kit Thomas for a look at our weather forecast. Kit?
Yeah, Kevin, we're taking a look out into downtown Memphis. The sun is just about to set, that beautiful golden hour, amber hour almost at this point. You can see just the beautiful colors shining off of some of the buildings here in downtown. Now looking at the almanac numbers from the day to day, sunset is at 5:04. That's coming up in just a few minutes here. But the next time we will have a sunset after 5:04 is going to be a week into January. So daylight saving time has ended, and now we're starting to see those much earlier sunsets, the time we should be seeing them this time of year. Take a look at the temperatures around the area. We're at 52 degrees right now here in Memphis, 50 in Holly Springs, 52 out in Tunica, and 49 already up towards the north in Dyersburg. We had a cold front that came through last night, so temperatures have actually warmed up a little bit here over the last couple of hours, a little warmer than it was when we just started to have that cold front coming in, but it hadn't quite reached the northern Mississippi areas by this time last night. So we've dropped quite a bit more in the last 24 hours after that cold front has swung through. Infrared satellite shows a few clouds back to our east, but clear sailing back towards the west there. That rain that we had yesterday has now moved on to the Carolinas. You can see some of those clouds in that direction. Tonight we could see some patchy fog around the area, especially between 9 p.m. and 3 a.m. So keep that in mind. We could see some poor driving areas here overnight tonight. This is around 3 a.m. We've got that patchy fog across western Tennessee into Arkansas, and then a little bit into northeastern Mississippi as well. By daybreak, that should clear out very quickly and temperatures get back up to around 63. We are going to have slightly warmer temperatures in the forecast, though. We'll have a look at that still ahead.
All right, thank you for that, Kit. Now, again, we're going to take you back to Mason, Tennessee, where faith leaders and community members are joining the Tennessee ACLU, hosting a vigil for justice and calling out these recent ICE arrests. Our Shakina Davis is live in Mason, Tennessee. So, Shakina, what have you seen there at the vigil?
Kevin, the vigil here just wrapped up just about a few seconds ago. They were here just lighting the candles for those who have lost their lives in ICE detention centers. They just gave speeches talking about exactly what was going on, how they're feeling, and what exactly they're demanding from town leaders here in Mason. As you can see behind me, they are all still gathered around just talking and wrapping up the rest of this event here. There are faith leaders along with community members, people that are even coming from the Memphis area. So not just here in Mason, there are some residents here in Mason who came out, of course, to express how they feel about what's been happening with the detention centers and what they're expecting, as I just mentioned, regarding what the city leaders here will do and what exactly they're demanding. Coming up at 10, I will have more from those ACLU leaders along with community members who express how they feel regarding tonight's vigil and, again, what they're demanding. Back to you.
All right, this comes just as Tennessee Governor Bill Lee and Shelby County Mayor Lee Harris head to court tomorrow, Monday, for their ongoing legal battle over the National Guard's deployment here to Memphis. Back in October, Shelby County leaders filed a lawsuit against the Tennessee governor and his decision. They've asked the judge to halt the deployment of troops for law enforcement purposes, but the judge denied that injunction. Now, Governor Lee recently said federal agents could be in Memphis forever. Again, that hearing set for 1:30 Monday afternoon in Davidson County Chancery Courts. Meanwhile, the Memphis Safe Task Force has given us an update on the number of arrests they've made. So far, they've made more than 1,800 in total. Now, a majority of those come from previous warrants. You can see about 813 there. with another huge chunk coming from administrative arrest. Now, that is typically an ICE agent arrest, an immigration detention situation, as well as arrests for drugs, a little over 200 there. The Memphis Safe Task Force also has located over 80 missing kids and arrested what they say are 100 known gang members. Earlier today, traffic was completely shut down on I-40. Our crew captured this video of it eastbound just before 2 o'clock this afternoon. Now, we have reached out to MPD for details, but we're only told to contact the Department of Justice. You can see a significant scene there on I-40. Folks just walking around there, even on the freeway. We're still waiting on an update as far as exactly what happened there on I-40 that resulted in task force activity. Other news right now, an attempted robbery suspect is dead after they were shot early this morning. According to Memphis police, an officer responded to a shooting just before 2 a.m. and a man was taken to the hospital in critical condition where they later died. Now, the shooting allegedly stemmed from an attempted robbery, with the man shot being one of the suspects. Now, police also say another suspect fled the scene before officers got there. They have arrested one person who was there, but this is still an ongoing investigation. We're also still following an ongoing investigation where police shot a different robbery suspect in Cordova on Friday afternoon. According to the TBI, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, this happened around 1:30 Friday afternoon on Germantown Parkway near Dexter Road. Investigators claim federal agents were having lunch nearby when a suspect ran through the parking lot after shooting someone while attempting to rob a business. According to cops, a law enforcement official then shot that suspect, who's still in critical condition. As the government shutdown continues, millions are concerned about their benefits with the holidays approaching, along with the cold weather. Well, luckily, faith leaders are stepping up around the community. Today in Parkway Village, Fireside Kojic worked with the Whole Man Development Center and McCaskill Assistance Center to support people in need. The organizations distributed coats and other clothing items along with canned and non-perishable goods. Frank James of the Whole Man Development Center believes this partnership can help bless someone in need heading into the holiday season.
Well, we just feel that it's our duty. God is good to us. We've been blessed in this country, in this nation, and there's so many hurting people. People out of work, people don't know how to meet ends. They're worrying about paying their bills. So we just want to encourage them that there is hope and let them know that we're here for them.
The goal of the Hope for the Holidays event was to show people in need the community cares and wants to help. Meanwhile, tens of thousands of Shelby County SNAP recipients remain unsure how they'll get and buy groceries. Friday, Memphis leaders and organizations came together to try and make sure they don't go hungry. Volunteers from the Neighborhood Christian Center spent the day shopping at Aldi locations and stocking up on groceries to feed people in need. They're part of a community task force alongside Mayor Paul Young's office in response to the lapse in SNAP benefits. The organization's CEO claims that along with the help of 40 volunteers, they'll feed 1,000 Memphians. She does want everyone to know there is a process to qualify for this food resource.
We have people out here that have a concern for those that need help, and they've responded with giving and sending money. Then we can go to a store like Aldi and pick it up. We have volunteers that can put it in the basket. We can go to a warehouse and put it together, and we can know that we tangibly can take this and give it to someone that really needs it.
Now, she reminds the public again, the food is available by appointment only for those who qualify. Over in Arkansas, they're rushing to fill the gap in SNAP benefits while they remain in limbo as well. Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders is sending $500,000 to food banks across the state. Beginning Monday, November 3rd, 8 food bank branches will split the funds. The governor also launched a Help Arkansas web page to connect families with food assistance. So if the shutdown drags on, Sanders announced more help could be on the way. Again, with the government shutdown still dragging on, SNAP benefits running out, families across the Mid-South worried about how they'll put food on the table. Well, we here at ABC24 have created a list of food pantries and distribution centers that are open right now across Memphis and Shelby County to help anyone in need. For a full list of those food distribution events that are coming up, as well as other resources across the Mid-South, just head to our website, ABC24.com.
A Memphis police officer testified under oath that he bit a man during this arrest and then laughed about it. This is part of our continuing coverage of Mario Shaw, the Frazier man being seen on this Ring doorbell video being punched, tased, and bitten by a Memphis police officer in his own front yard. Shaw was arrested for assaulting the officers, but when a Shelby County judge watched this video, the case against Shaw quickly fell apart. Watch ABC24 Monday night after the game to hear the startling testimony from that officer that shocked even the judge.
Still got more coming up, including why the Grizzlies are facing more disappointment after that loss to the Lakers. Still ahead, one of their stars suspended. And those in DeSoto County showing support for the young victim of sexual predator Lindsay Whiteside, and how they hope this prayer rally can prevent incidents from happening again. News right now, the Grizzlies are playing tonight, but without the services of star point guard Ja Morant, who was suspended for one game by the team due to conduct detrimental. Now, this all stems from Friday night's game against the Lakers, where Morant played 30 minutes and scored just 8 points, with his frustration visible during the post-game interviews with the media. First-year Grizzlies head coach Tuomo Cicelo challenged Morant's leadership and efforts after that loss, 117-112 to the Lakers. According to the Grizzlies, Morant responded in a tone deemed inappropriate and dismissive, with the confrontation happening in front of the team, sources confirmed. Across Mississippi, the DeSoto County community showing support for the victim of a former youth pastor and basketball coach federally charged with child sex crimes. This weekend, people came together at the Hernando courthouse for the young victim of Lindsay Whiteside. They expressed support for the family and prayed the family find healing and strength. People wrote notes to the family to let them know the community is behind them, and they hope this can serve as a call to action in the future.
There's definitely been a lot of frustration and anger about things, the way that they have gone about, and that was one of the things that, I felt like it was, justified feeling that way, but then I also felt that, we just needed to also have the love and support for the family too, and I think that's more important than anything.
That was Amy Hall, one of the organizers. She also told us she hopes the rally will help people in the community be more aware of incidents like this to try and prevent them from happening. Still more to come, including how thousands of Memphians got to experience a beautiful different culture. We'll give you an inside look at the annual Japanese festival after this. Today, thousands of Memphians spent the day immersed in Japanese culture at this year's annual Japanese festival. It was at the Memphis Botanic Gardens, focusing on celebrating the history and heritage of Japan through arts, entertainment, and other hands-on activities. Families filled the gardens to experience Japan's culture come to life through dance performances, martial arts demonstrations, and crafts for all ages. The festival also featured authentic cuisine, music, and traditional games, making it a celebration for the senses. The event is organized each year by the Japan America Society of Tennessee, a nonprofit established in 2000 to promote cultural understanding and friendship between Tennessee and Japan. Through events like this, the organization continues to build connections that bring communities closer together. That is nice to see. That's what we do here in America. Yeah, that is great. And you can see great weather there.
Yeah, cut my head off here.
I know.
All the temperatures are dropping real low over the last couple of days. Let's take a look outside here in East Memphis as everything is starting to get very clear this evening out there. Most of our temperatures are going to start to fall very quickly tonight because we've got those very clear skies here and a slight northerly breeze as well. Right now we're at 52 degrees here in Memphis, 49 in Tunica, 48 in Oxford, Blytheville, and Corinth, both sitting at 50 degrees, and Batesville at 52. Most of us are right around that 50-degree mark or slowly getting to it over the next couple of hours. We're going to quickly drop overnight tonight, though. We're going to see a very, very cold temperatures, probably the coldest we've seen so far this fall. We might see some early morning fog and maybe some frost in some areas. We'll look at that in a moment. But sunny skies through the week this week. We're going to return to the 70s for a few days as well. What's happening right now is after that cold front came through, you see down towards Georgia, high pressure has built in. Of course, the clockwise flow around the high, counterclockwise around the low. That's pulling in a channel of very cold, far northerly air. That's going to bring our temperatures down pretty quickly tonight. Also, the fact that we have no clouds allows for that heat to radiate very, very quickly. And with the high moving over us, air is going to be very still by tomorrow morning. So we don't have much wind, so that allows that air to thoroughly mix out very quickly. You'll see a light breeze tomorrow, but very clear skies. And as we get into Tuesday, we keep up with lots of sunshine. We might start to see a little bit of cloud cover as we get into our Wednesday morning, just another weak front coming through, but it's moisture starved. There's not enough moisture to bring us any rainfall, so we will stay dry. In fact, over the next 7 days, it looks like we're staying dry, less than a tenth of an inch really for most of us as we go through the next 7 days. Now tomorrow morning, lows could be getting down into the upper 30s. It's going to be very chilly out there. That's also going to lead to a potential for some frost. Frost usually occurs around 36, but it can occur close to 38. And of course, you have to have the moisture there for the frost to actually form. But if you have any plants, if you still have a vegetable garden like I do, this is probably going to cut off the end of the growing season for you. Some places even getting close to the freezing mark there in Corinth. Forecast low of 32 degrees. Now this is coming around or pretty close to our average first frost, which comes right around November 5th. Of course, that's the average from 1991 to 2020. Average first freeze comes 2 weeks into November. Tomorrow afternoon, it'll warm up very quickly, getting back into the 60s around the area. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast, though. Temperatures are going to start to warm up pretty quickly as we go through the week. Average high now is already down to 68 degrees. We're above average for most of the week. We're looking at 70 degrees there on Tuesday, 72 by Wednesday, and getting up to 74. Most of our lows are going to start to climb out of the 30s into the 40s by Tuesday, 50s for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's going to be actually pretty warm there on Friday morning with some clouds coming over Thursday night. That'll help our temperatures to stay a little bit more mild then. But as we get towards the weekend, it looks like another cold front is on the way. We'll see temperatures dropping from 70 back into the 60s by early next week.
Still ahead, the government shutdown continuing to impact Americans while former President Barack Obama hit the campaign trail. What he's saying in support for candidates. The government shutdown is impacting Americans everywhere, and on Saturday, SNAP benefits were cut off for 42 million Americans. Meanwhile, political activity is heating up, with former President Barack Obama campaigning on behalf of Democratic gubernatorial candidates. Here's ABC's Johnny Fernandez with the latest.
Former President Barack Obama campaigning in New Jersey and Virginia on behalf of Democratic gubernatorial candidates.
The economy has been really good for some of Trump's billionaire friends, but for ordinary families, for you, your neighbors, your friends, costs have not gone down, they've gone up.
Open enrollment for the Affordable Care Act, which Obama signed into law in 2010, is underway. Extending subsidies is a major point of contention. Democrats are calling for Republicans to extend the subsidies, while President Trump and GOP leaders say they will not negotiate until the government is reopened. More than 20 million Americans who get their health insurance through the Affordable Care Act could see their premiums spike if the subsidies expire. During the Republican Jewish Coalition's annual summit, House Speaker Mike Johnson said something may change after Tuesday's election.
If they fold too soon, they're afraid it might affect voter turnout. But that really is the sum total of their calculus right now. They're trying to cover their own backside.
Meanwhile, a federal judge has ordered the Trump administration to continue funding SNAP, protecting nearly 42 million Americans.
SNAP should not be about politics. We're giving money away to foreign countries, and our people need to be fed here, now.
Late Friday, President Trump said he instructed government attorneys to ask the judge how we could legally fund SNAP as soon as possible. If the court gives direction, the president said, "It will be my honor to provide the funding." The effects of the shutdown are spreading. Air traffic control shortages across the country have caused flight delays at some of the nation's busiest airports. And federally funded Head Start preschool programs that serve more than 65,000 children are also at risk of closing. Johnny Fernandez, ABC News, New York.
Well, coming up, we're going to have one final look at that extended forecast. It's looking slightly warmer this week. Taking a final look at the forecast. Tomorrow, temperatures slightly warmer than they were today, getting back up into the 60s across much of the area. Then we'll see temperatures return to the 70s by our Tuesday. So we've got a lot of 70s on the way, a pretty symmetrical 7-day forecast here. But the good thing is the morning temperatures are going to start to warm up. Monday, it's going to be very chilly at the start of the morning. It's 38 for that morning low. Back to the 40s by Tuesday, back to the 50s by Wednesday, and we'll hold out 50s and 70s for the rest of this week. By Sunday of next week, we'll start to see temperatures cooling down again, but it looks like in the long range as we head into the second week of the forecast outlook, it looks like we start to trend back closer to average, if not above average. Some better confidence growing on that. Rainfall, it still looks pretty dry overall. Things really not changing on that front. We might see a few showers here or there, but most of this week stays dry. Maybe next week we'll see a little bit of rain.
All right, just hopefully it's not getting too cold. So
yeah, hopefully we can stay above freezing for a little
right,
longer.
That's all we have for you here at 5. We'll see you back here at 10.
Continue with us and watch free now on the 24 Plus app everywhere you stream.